Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday Mindset. I am so excited to be here with you today. My name is Erin Hart. I am a registered nurse health coach, and I empower women to get off of the dieting roller coaster and lose weight for the last time with the sugar and flour-free lifestyle. So today we are talking all about caloric density and what that means for you and how it can totally change your life, how it can help you to lose weight without feeling like you're starving and find more peace with your food. So welcome. I'm so excited because this week we have an in-person retreat for our one-to-one clients that's going to be in Park City. So I can't wait to meet you guys. We're going to have so much fun. And this is a bonus that I have for my one-to-one clients where we get together for just a really immersive experience. As we know, weight loss, it's really not just about math, right? It's not just a physical transformation that we're experiencing. We also need to transform mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun things this week. We have a chef that's coming to do some meal prep teaching, how to season our food. And there's how to do some basic knife skills. We have a yoga instructor that's going to come and teach us about restorative yoga and the importance of sleep. We have an artist that's coming and we're going to do some really fun art night. I also have some other mindset coaches that are coming to do some training to help us to win the mental game of weight loss. So to learn some strategies this week in person on how to really master your mindset. And then at the end of the week, we're attending the Brightest in Utah conference. So it's going to be so fun and relaxing this week. I can't wait to meet you in person. If you're not coming, if you're not part of the one-to-one program, just know that we'll miss you so much and that we will have this every year. So if this is something that you want to participate in the future, I hope that you'll join us. So because of the retreat, just a reminder, we are not going to have our group coaching calls on Wednesday and Thursday like we normally do. So if you do want to attend a live coaching session this week and you're in the program, it is Monday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. If you can't attend the live call, just be sure to watch the replay. That's the miracle of technology. So in today's video for Monday Mindset, we are discussing the power of caloric density and our new food list. So like I said, you don't have to starve yourself to lose weight. In fact, if you don't already live a sugar and flour-free lifestyle, you may need to start eating more than you currently are. It's all about eating the right foods. So I want to teach you about the power of caloric density, optimizing your nutrition with a sugar and flour-free lifestyle, and how to lose weight in a sustainable and healthy way without being so hungry all of the time. I don't know if you relate to my story, but many of you know my story. I used to be 285 pounds and I tried so many diets in my life, and I was constantly on the dieting roller coaster with like restricting myself and counting calories and for years, and it just never worked. I just always felt deprived. I felt like it wasn't sustainable. I just hated taking all the time to focus on prepping, to focus on writing down my calories and everything. It just, for me, was not sustainable. I did Weight Watchers for so long and it just spent a fortune there. And so the good news is that it doesn't have to be complicated. This is actually a really easy way to live, and it's very sustainable, and I want to teach you how to do it. I've since lost 125 pounds and found peace with my food and my body and freedom from cravings, and I want to share that with you so that you can experience that as well. It's never a straight line to success. We always make mistakes, and we always, it's a learning and refining process, but it is such an amazing journey. So this video is for you if a sugar and flour-free lifestyle is a new concept for you, and you don't know about caloric density yet. This video will really help you to learn how to eat a variety of every food group in abundant quantities. That also allows you to lose weight if that's your goal. But this video is also for you if, like most of you who are watching this, are in my coaching program or are following me on social media and are already living a sugar and flour-free lifestyle. And this video, I'm making this video for you because we are going to talk about how to optimize your program. If you're already living a sugar and flour-free lifestyle, you're going to learn how to choose more of the choices that are the preferred foods and that are the healthiest for your body, which will help you to speed your weight loss and feel better and have more energy, as well as you'll learn which foods are compliant but may be slowing your progress, and that you should use more sparingly. So I don't have my face on here today because I'm doing this on Facebook Live, and I wanted to show you guys the complete food list for the Healthy Real Food program. So let's get started and talk about the basics for a minute. In the Healthy Real Food program, we have foundational guidelines that we follow. We eat food the way God made it. And I'm talking healthy, real food, not highly processed, man-made food that's full of chemicals and preservatives and has a huge list of ingredients that we can't pronounce and we don't even know what they are. That food is so gross and it's fake food. Think of it. Food in its natural form, it's whole, it's colorful, it's full of water, full of all of the macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals that our bodies and vital organs require to function properly. Healthy, real food fuels our body and gives us energy so that we can live and have the ability to do everything that God put us on earth to do, right? But in contrast, fake, man-made, highly processed food that is full of ingredients that we don't even recognize or can pronounce is known to cause inflammation, obesity, and diet-related diseases like cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. So those foods affect our mood, and they really do contribute to depression. They're known to be depressants. So it is so unnaturally sweet, the fake food. It's so unnaturally sweet and calorie dense, and in many cases has ingredients and colors added to it by food chemists specifically for the purpose of making you crave it and become addicted to it so that you'll buy more and that you'll eat more of their product. They do test after test after test to alter the product and make it visually stimulating and crave-worthy so that your brain will want it again and again. And if you're a person that feels out of control around food and you struggle with overeating, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just probably experiencing the result of this and experiencing a form of food addiction. So it's no secret that companies do this, but I just find it so highly immoral. Food chemists are really good at their jobs, as evidenced by a society where more than 70% of the people suffer from being obese or overweight. So think of that fake food as food pornography. And that's maybe a little graphic image, but Susan Pierce Thompson, the author of Bright Line Eating, in one of her books, she talks about those cupcakes with like the bright pink frosting. They are so unnatural. You cannot find anything like that in nature. They're unnaturally sweet and so highly stimulating to your brain and your taste buds. It's fake food. You don't want to get I really don't want to get too much into the science of food addiction in this video, as we don't have time for that, but it's important to understand that that is part of the reason why eating healthy real food the way God made it in its whole unprocessed natural form as much as possible will really lead to optimal health. God made our bodies and He made food for us. And eating healthy, it's important because our bodies, minds, and hearts and spirits are so intricately connected that having a healthy body will really improve every other aspect of your life and increase your mental, emotional, and spiritual capacity. So that is my mission as a health coach, and that's why I'm here. I'm just so passionate about healthy eating because I want you to have a better life and I want you to be happier. It's not just about looking cute in jeans, right? Around here, we really focus on the complete person that you are. And we recognize that we transform not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's necessary to focus on that complete transformation for sustainability. Our method to start that transformation process is to start with healing your relationship with food and optimizing your nutrition. That is a refining process. It is a mental game and a means to help you to grow in your self-development. So what foods do you eat in the healthy real food lifestyle? Well, we eat everything as long as there are no flours, meaning any ingredient ground up into a fine powder, or sweeteners of any kind in the ingredient list for a few reasons, right? First, because these foods are much more calorie dense than other real foods. Foods full of water really fill you up. While we don't count calories in this program, I want you to think of the difference in quantities of 50 calories of cucumbers versus one Oreo, which is 53 calories, right? So to eat 50 calories of cucumbers, that would be more than 3 cups worth. So much more filling and nutrient dense than one small Oreo. This is how you can lose weight without feeling like you're starving. It's about caloric density and choosing natural foods with more water in them. And secondly, because those highly processed foods, those highly processed foods that contain sugar and flour, they hit your bloodstream so quickly that it spikes your blood sugar and can cause the release of big boluses of insulin into your bloodstream, which causes you to not only crash afterward, but the insulin released blocks the hormone that makes you feel full and want to move, called leptin. And thirdly, the reason that we abstain from the sugar and flour is, as we discussed before, because those highly palatable and natural foods can create food cravings and food addiction for some people. So I used to say that any food is okay if there is no sugar or flour in the first 3 ingredients, but I've since changed that because some artificial sweeteners are so highly unnaturally sweet that even if they are way down the line in the ingredient list, it can still make your food very sweet, triggering cravings and hunger. So watch for hidden sugars and flours in your food. There are a lot of different names like starch or ingredients that end in OSE, for example, that are some of those hidden sugars and flours. So I made a comprehensive food list to help you to take the guesswork out of what to eat. The Healthy Real Food structured meal plans that I have guide you on which elements to eat and provide you with a clear blueprint for your meal plan. And then for each of the food groups, you can go to this list and simply choose one of the foods in this list. So the food list is awesome because it tells you how much a serving of food is and how much it weighs in ounces. I encourage people to buy a digital food scale and to weigh all of their food, because when you know what you're eating is not too little or too much, it gives you so much peace. And that if you're weighing your food, you really don't even need to weigh your body, because you can just trust the meal plan, and it's inevitable. You're going to achieve your goal. You're going to lose weight. So it also just gives you so much peace when you weigh your food, to know that you're getting exactly what your body needs to lose weight in a healthy way. It really helps to bypass the food chatter and the need for willpower. So the foods that I have in this list, the foods that have an asterisk by them are preferred foods. So these are the best choices that provide the most nutrition. So it's like good, better, best, right? Everything in this list is good, better, best. They're all good, but some of the choices are better than others, and some of the choices are really the best. So G-BOMBS, if you've heard that acronym before, it stands for greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. Are superfoods that are recommended to eat every day, and those are indicated by the asterisks. Those are preferred foods. So I encourage you to eat greens, beans, and berries every day. Those are just some of the healthiest foods for you. That is really going to prolong your life, give you more energy, help you to have more health. So this is how I would recommend to you that you do that, by choosing more of the options that are preferred foods and less of the options that are listed in this list as use sparingly. Okay, so let's go through the food list. Let me just pull it up here. Okay, so healthy real food, and as you'll notice, it's called Healthy Real Food App Complete Food List. I'm so excited because I'm creating an app for you to make this process so easy. It will do all the math and calculations for you, so you know exactly how much each thing weighs, and yeah, it's really exciting. So it's still a ways out, so it may not be out till next year, but keep an eye out because it is coming. So let's go through the food elements. The food groups are protein, starches, vegetables, fruits, fats, condiments, and beverages. So for protein, we really want to focus on lean, free-range, grass-fed, organically grown, non-GMO, and wild-caught, low-mercury fish. Those are the preferred best choices, right? You don't have to be completely organic or anything to be in this program, but those are the best choices. And if you can, like, those are the options I would recommend the most. So with all of the food in this food list, you always want to weigh it after cooking it. So try to have at least one meal per day without animal products if you can, and just strive to eat more beans and seeds, as they are some of those superfoods. So as you can see, under protein, there are 3 subcategories. We have meat, dairy, and plant-based protein options. So yeah, as you can see, lots of different weights for different things depending on the caloric density of each food. And it just is really great. So many of you may notice that there are a few changes in this food list compared to our last food list. And I've really made it more friendly for caloric density, because if you're eating cheese and nuts for your protein portion every day, those are so highly calorically dense and they really don't have that much protein in them. You really get more bang for the buck from other options. And so I've removed cheese as a protein source, except for ricotta cheese and cottage cheese. And I also have removed nuts for the same reason, except if you are a plant-based eater. So if you are solely plant-based, Definitely feel free to use nuts and nut butter as your protein source. But otherwise, I would really encourage you to just use those as fat portions, which will help you uh, to maintain your weight. It will help you to lose weight faster. And there's also just not a lot of protein in cheese and nuts, like I said. I've removed nut milks from the protein category because they just have hardly any protein in them at all. So those are a condiment now. But yeah, so there are some changes here. But as you can see, beans have an asterisk by them. Lentils, and seeds are just some of the most, the best protein options. There's also other options that are not your traditional ones that have high levels of protein in them that you can use as a protein substitute. So moving on to starches. So I changed the name from grains to starches because it's just more accurate. And while whole grains are the preferred form of starch, also there's a lot of great grain substitutes like beans and lentils have a lot of healthy starches in them, and you can use them as a grain substitute. Starchy vegetables are also listed on here, and I've added some things like corn, hominy, peas, plantains, and of course potatoes, sweet potatoes are wonderful forms of starch in your diet. And then we have our traditional whole grains. So as you can see, there are some of these that have asterisks and some of them don't. And the reason is we're trying to eat less processed food. So even some of the compliant foods can be more highly processed than others. And so oats, for example, like steel cut oats are least processed form of oats, and those just stick with you longer. It takes longer for your body to digest than quick cooking oats or oat bran, for example. So it just is a guide, but oat bran and quick cooking oats are still totally compliant. So if you want to do that, that's great. But the foods with the asterisks, they really help you to stay full longer and have better caloric density. One of the subcategories in the starch is compliant cereals, crackers, and breads. So these are totally compliant. There's no sugar or flour in the ingredient list, but just know that these foods should be used sparingly because they're just more highly processed and more snackable, right? They contain less water. So eating 6 Triscuits compared to eating half a cup of sweet potatoes, it's just the sweet potatoes are just going to fill you up a little bit more than the Triscuits. And so it's just something to consider and to help you to be aware of that these are things that you just want to use a little bit more sparingly. And if you notice that they become problem foods for you, sometimes when you take sugar and flour out of your diet, your brain wants to find other ways to get that hit. It wants to find another way to get that dopamine hit and get that pleasure from food. You may start to binge on compliant food. So you want to watch that. And if you noticed yourself starting to feel out of control with any of these foods, you need to just question if that's a food that you should have in your program. So I, for example, don't eat crackers because they have just become, I just started to feel more out of control around those, and I would overeat on those. And so I just found that I feel more peaceful and less hungry when I'm eating whole, real food. But they are definitely compliant, so feel free to eat those. Going down to vegetables. So organic, non-GMO vegetables are preferred. But like I said, if that's not something you can afford, just focus on the dirty dozen. So there's like you can look it up online. There's the dozen foods that are called the dirty dozen that are, if you are going to choose only a few organic options, those are the ones that are the most important to eat organic. So, to optimize your nutrition with vegetables, you really vegetables are so low in calories. They have very low caloric density, which is awesome for weight loss because you can eat a lot of them and fill up and you can feel really full, but you're not gaining weight, right? So it really helps with hunger in the weight loss phase. And I encourage you to eat about 20 ounces of vegetables per day. So I'm going to start next week. I'm going to be showing you our new meal plans. I'm so excited. These are new meal plans, but if you are already using a meal plan that works for you, just stick with it. Don't change it. But if you are struggling with your meal plan, I would encourage you to take a look at it. In the new meal plan, we count vegetables. 4 ounces is 1 serving of vegetables that you weigh after cooking. And it's recommended to eat at least one of the preferred vegetables each day, which are those leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, things like that. So a variety of colors and types of veggies represents different phytonutrients and minerals that your body really needs to function properly. And so eating the rainbow every day will really just help you to optimize your nutrition here. So we have non-starchy vegetables, pickled and fermented vegetables, sauces and soups, and then starchy vegetables. So in this list, you may also notice some changes that I've added some. I've added potatoes and sweet potatoes here because in the new food plan, it's restructured because of the different caloric densities of each of the foods. And so in the basic food plan, there's there's a starch at breakfast and lunch. And so, but you can also use a potato as a serving of vegetables. So, potatoes really just give you such amazing energy. These starchy vegetables are really great energy, but they can slow your weight loss. So you want to use them sparingly as vegetable servings, as a vegetable portion, if your goal is weight loss. But you can, and we're just saying to limit it to 1 serving, which is 4 ounces. So down here in the fruit category, so we encourage you to eat fresh fruit, ripe and in season. It is delicious and nutritious, has a lot of fiber. So 6 ounces is 1 serving. Again, organic non-GMO is preferred, but canned food is also compliant if it's in natural juice instead of syrup. You don't want to blend your fruit or eat dried fruit because of the sugar to fiber ratio. So those can really spike your blood sugar. So the best foods here that are the preferred foods are berries. Berries are superfoods for sure and are just packed with nutrition and antioxidants and so healthy for you. So while fruit does contain sugar, when it's not blended, when it's not dried, it really does not spike your blood sugar like other sugars do because of the fiber in it. The fiber helps you to digest it more slowly, so you don't have the spikes in blood sugar leading to the spikes in insulin. So fruit is just my favorite. I love it so much because it's so healthy and it's so delicious. It's just like such a gift from God. So So fat is in, let's see here. Okay, sorry about the kids in the background. They are all fighting, but all home for summer and I work from home, so it's a little tricky. Okay, so let's go back here. So fat are whole food fats from fish, nuts, avocados, olives, and seeds are just such an important part of your diet. A lot of times we think we have to eat low fat to lose weight, but actually there's a lot of studies that show that low fat versus higher fat diets, a lot of people that eat higher fat diets eat less and are more satiated. And so we encourage you to eat healthy fats. Organic, non-GMO, grass-fed is preferred. And we really want to eliminate the unhealthy fat, which are the trans fats, hydrogenated fats, and partially hydrogenated fats, and decrease the saturated fats from animal sources. And we want to eat more omega-3 fats from fish and plant sources. So you'll notice on the food list, I've removed oil as it's really highly processed and it's very calorie dense. It just doesn't fill you up as much as some of the other choices. So I removed oil from the fat list because it's really best to eat food as close to the way that God made it as possible. So avocados, olives, coconut, I do have a cheese here that you can have at 1 ounce. There are other dairy and animal products, even like bacon and butter, just use them sparingly. But I do have some oil-based fats here, just that we use sparingly, mostly salad dressings, right? Because of just, sustainability and having that option when you're eating out and stuff. But I do encourage you to try to eat more of these plant-based fats. So avocados, coconut, olives, nuts, seeds, and I've added cacao nibs. Those are something that you can also experiment with. But I would encourage you to use them sparingly. So totally unsweetened, but they can be triggering for some people. So you have to just figure out what works for you. But those are included now. Okay. Herbs, spices, and condiments. This is how really to get so you don't get bored with your food. Because a lot of people, they say like, oh, I'm just so bored of eating, vegetables all the time. But if you use herbs and spices and different condiments, it totally gives it different flavor profiles. And it's really a great way to go about it. But you want to look at the ingredient list. Make sure it doesn't contain sugar or hidden flours or maltodextrin, artificial colors, natural flavoring, preservative, or anti-caking agent. So try to get clean condiments. Some condiments I love. So the subcategories we have are acids, extracts, herbs and spices, and seasonings. So lemon and lime juice are so nice to just flavor your food. Pickles, vinegars, different sorts of vinegars. As far as condiments, I really love the Primal Kitchen brand. Not some of their options have sweeteners in them, so yeah, gotta look at the ingredients. But they have some really awesome options for like ketchup and barbecue sauce. But like curry and salsa and soy sauce and there's so many different ways to flavor your food to make it delicious and interesting to you. Different extracts are fun, to flavor your oatmeal. Fresh herbs are great and so healthy for you. So dried herbs. I do have in here, like I said before, there is cacao powder now. And it is an item that I categorize as used sparingly because chocolate can be so highly addictive, but when it's unsweetened and used in moderation, like once or twice a week, it's totally fine. So, and it's healthy, real food. I have unsweetened vanilla powder. So there's really some fun ideas on here to help you to get your brain going. And just seasonings. I love Trader Joe's. They have some amazing seasoning blends that are just so fun. So yeah, lots of great ideas here to just help you to know how to not get bored. And then beverages. So we don't want to drink our calories, okay, because that is really calorie dense, right? We want to eat our calories as it gives our body time to digest it. But I do encourage you to just drink so much water. Herbal tea is also totally compliant, and I love herbal tea in between meals when you're experiencing a little hunger in the weight loss phase. But I do encourage you to abstain from substances that are addictive, like alcohol, coffee, black, green, and white tea. You know, those have caffeine in them, and alcohol, you know, just has sugar in it, and it decreases your inhibition. So just avoid. I really encourage you to avoid that. In my church, we follow a law of health that we call the word of wisdom, and that is part of it. And it's just, there's so many blessings that come with being free from addictive substances of any kind, because it frees up our mind, it gives us control and more choices. So also avoid drinks with sweeteners, as even artificial sweeteners. Like a lot of people want to hold on to their diet soda, and that just can be problematic because of the artificial sugar. There's a study of 3 groups of rats. One group of rats had all of the food in front of them, and they had water to drink. Another group of rats had all of the food in front of them and they had sugar water to drink. And then another group of rats had all the food in front of them with artificial sweetener water. And the rats that had the artificial sugar, the artificial sweetener water, they got way more obese than any of the other rats. And they ate way more. And so we think that because it doesn't have any calories in it, that it's fine and compliant, right? But it really will sabotage your weight loss. Your brain thinks it's sugar, and it releases insulin, and you get all of the same side effects as sugar. So, and in fact, you end up eating even more than if it was just real sugar. So avoid those sweetened drinks, even like Crystal Light or Diet Coke and stuff. You want to avoid drinking your calories, except if you are sick. So if you're sick and you've been throwing up or had diarrhea and you just haven't been able to eat, then yeah, of course you need some oral rehydration and you need something for that. So I do have some things on the list here in that circumstance, like coconut water, broth, or bone stock are great options there. So yeah, this is the food list, and yeah, it's just a guide to help give you some help, to take the guesswork out of your program. And it just really it's very comprehensive. So you'll pretty much find everything in there that's compliant, as well as the weights of everything. So you don't have to just guess. But as we said before, if you want to lose weight faster, you just choose the low calorically dense foods. So don't skip meals or make up for going off plan by restricting your intake. That's the diet mentality that we're really trying to avoid. Just generally try to choose those preferred options and limit the use sparingly choices. If you're wanting to lose weight faster, just use starchy veggies only for a starch portion and not for your vegetable portion. And then, if you are needing some help and coaching to optimize and customize your meal plan, I'm definitely available to help you with that. So yes, you guys, that is the food list. And sorry, this is a long Monday mindset, but I just wanted to be really thorough to help you guys to understand these principles. Even in this food list, keep in mind those principles of caloric density. So choose foods that have more water in them. For example, dry oat bran and Triscuits are totally compliant, but like we said, you know, more natural starches or grains with more water in them, they will be a better option as they're less processed and will keep you full longer. 4 ounces of hummus is totally compliant as a protein, right? And it's also can be used as a fat, but it's so processed. It's blended chickpeas with oil, right? But because it's blended, it just goes through you so quickly compared to eating a chicken breast where you have to chew it. And it just takes your body longer to process it, so you stay full longer. Or 6 ounces of chickpeas, right? That require, that are not blended, and they just require more time for your body to process. So eating food in its more natural form is a principle I want you to keep in mind. So let's see. Okay, some other I think that we kind of covered everything, you guys. I'm so excited. Next week we're going to be talking about the new meal plans. It just makes a lot more sense to me than the plan that we were using before. I'm really so excited to present this to you. But like I said, if you are using a meal plan that is working for you, keep doing what you're doing. If you have automation and peace around it, use it. But if you're struggling with it, we're going to talk about some new meal plans next week that may help you to be able to get better results. So please reach out if you have any questions, and if you aren't in my coaching program and you're struggling with your sugar and flour-free lifestyle, I just want you to know that I'm enrolling. I am offering a free, no obligation coaching call to give you support and answer your questions about your program. These calls are just so transformative, and you'll leave feeling inspired, and you'll receive some free guidance and support. So I love doing these free 30-minute calls to help people, because I was you a few years ago, and I remember looking for help and trying to figure this out on my own, and it was so overwhelming and frustrating. So I want to help you to be able to lose weight and have it be faster, easier, and more fun. So I donate 2.5 hours of my time each week to 5 people for these 30-minute calls. So be sure to sign up before all of the spots are gone. These are not sales calls. It's just a way that I love to give back. And if you are interested in the coaching program I offer, I'm happy to tell you about that as well at the end of the call, but there's no pressure to join. So take advantage of this amazing resource today by clicking the link in the description or by going to erinharthealthcoaching.com to learn more. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.